Alright guys, we've just turned up at Mirror Lake. It's right at the end of October, just the start of November. Just giving it a little whirl. Water's only 52 degrees, very cold. Not looking for a load of bites, but looking for that decent size one. If I have one or two fish that's worth putting on this camera, then my job's done. But what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to use the Steve Briggs' Polyball. As you can see, it's just a normal rig as you'd normally have. Got size 2, got the cell. I've got some new mainline. I've got the cell pop-ups. I've got them, and I've got the salty squid. So I'm going to try some of these and try some of these. This one's the cell on this rod. So yeah, it's just got the polyball and just runs up and down the line, as you can see. And it's got the bead. Stop it so it hits the back of the rubber. Then you've got another bead, and then I've got 2 foot under depth. I've got a backstop, so this will slide up. So I'm fishing in about 27 to 30 feet of water at about 140, 150 yards out. So I'll be dropping my boat. So this will slide up, so it'll sit like that on the bottom, and then the line will go down and it'll keep it off the rocks. So when you get a take, you go out on a slack line, keep it so the polyball stays up like that on top of the water, and it just follows the lead round with the fish, and hopefully it misses all the stumps and the snags. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, because you do lose, it seems like the ones that really fight hard, the ones that you think are bigger, just seem to go through a rock or a branch, and you end up snagging up and losing them. So the smaller fish you can control and get them up and get them mid-water just on a normal lead. You know, as you see on the other videos, you can get the small ones in, or lucky enough you can pick up the odd big fish if it doesn't hit the snag. But I've been out there, I echoed, and I've got like a 23, 24, 25. It's very rocky, and like the actual marker leads were jamming up on the rocks, so it was very, very rocky. So I kept on going and going. All of a sudden it just dropped straight. It just went like 27, 30 really quick, and then it tails right off nicely to the right of the marker. The marker's right behind me. So I've dropped the marker in about 24, 25 where the rocks are, and when it went smooth and it was quite soft, then I've spread bait off to the right of the marker, and then I'm going to fish on the bottom part of it and leave the marker up onto the rocks. So hopefully that'll work. So yeah, so just got here, just got the boat, just like ventured in. New swim, never fished this swim before, so another new spot. It's nearly November. If you go up, I don't know if you can see that on the scales there. This is over the mat, I can't get any closer, but 40 pound 8 ounce. I can't believe it. One run, one bite, 40 pound 8 ounce after about 17 hours of fishing with nothing. First run. Look at that girl. Woohoo! Get on the main line. First take of the morning. Done 18 hours, nothing, not even a bite. See about 10 fish crash. 2 fish crashed over the bait this morning. This one rattles off. Big battle in the boat. 40 pound 8 ounce. Look how fat she is. She's absolutely 8 inches wide. Big fat Mirror Lake 40. I can't believe it. One take. In August I had them up to 37. Loads of 20s and 19s. And look at that first run. That's what I come here for, just one take, just to get amongst the bigger fish. Woohoo, and this is one of them. Thank you, Mirror Lake. Get on the IB mainline. Well, as you just see on the video, one run. Strange. And anyway, one run, it's unreal, I can't believe it. It shocked me. One run, 40 pound 8. Wow, I've just done me a PB out of here by 4 ounces.
Absolutely blown to pieces. I just can't explain it. I mean, there's loads of doubles and loads of 20-pounders in here. I mean, shed loads of them. Yeah, there's a couple of fish showing here and there. I had a marker on the left, and then I had a marker out distance. It's about 140, 150 out in 38, 39 foot water. That's where that big fish come from. That only run that I've had come from. A couple of fish showed on the shorter rod, on the shorter marker, about probably 75 yards out. But the ones I see jump, they were small. You know, I'm not saying that big fish stay out and small fish stay in the edge, but what I've seen is obviously not what I want close in. So what I've done, I've moved this marker on the close over this side, but gone out about 170, and I just stuck one rod at 170 out. Found a plateau. There's a little plateau there about 20 feet. 20 feet deep. I mean, the water's up at full whack in here, so like 20 feet is obviously the. I think I plumbed that last time, and it was about 13, 14 feet, but now it's 20 because the water's up. Yeah, so the one I had to take on, what I see on the sounder, there was loads of boulders and rocks and stuff, and it was in about 24, 25 feet, and then the boulder stopped, and then it seemed to drop, and it went straight down to 27, 28, and I was hitting around about 35 foot in places. So I baited from the rock down and left the marker in the rock, so I knew where the rock was, and then baited away from it, and I put my bait right low down on the, it was probably 27, 28 foot on the drop off there. That's where I had the bite. The other one that was in the deeper part, didn't get nothing. So anyway, I've moved round a lot further, like 170 out, a lot further out on the plateau, which it goes sort of 30 foot and then comes back up to 20 on the plateau. I see about 5 or 6 fish jump this morning on that area, so I went out and echoed it to see what's what, and it's obviously shallower, so obviously they come up on there to feed. So yeah, so I've just baited it up, just put some more boilies back out, but I'm putting very little. I'm literally putting like 3 handfuls of boilies out and a couple of handfuls of soaked maize and bean mix, but they've been soaked in fruitella mainline as corn and all that, so it's flavoured, so it looks like more little boilies scattered. Sort of, you know, I don't want the corn flavour, and I want the sort of boily flavour in, or out putting loads of boilies in. So just scattered that around a little bit. Yeah, so got the D-rig on. I'm using the D-rig pop-up and size 2s, 2 hooks, long curve, long shank ones. They're the actual Danny Fairbrass ones actually. The curve, like the one he does himself with the eye bent in and it bends round and goes right round. It's long, the eye turned in. I can't remember the name of them, but it's actually Danny Fairbrass's design, his actual one. So anyway, I bought a few of them. You know, I like the curve on them. I like the eye turned in, and they're strong in the size 2, and obviously it proven, so I got it in, because when I went out in the boat playing the fish on the boat, it was snagged at first and it was grinding on rocks and must have gone up onto them rocks, and once it pinged, and then I reeled down and thought, oh no, it's, you know, it fell off, and as I reeled down it was still on, and the hook hole was perfect. The bottom lip, middle bottom lip right in, it never would have fell off, but lucky it never cut me off. But what I've got on my reels, I've got Power Pro 80. I've got 200 metres on each. Well, the last time I was here, you play around with 65, you get the odd cut off. So I thought if I go up to 85, I know I wasn't going to get many runs this time of year. I'm not looking for run after run after run. I'm just not. I'm just looking for what I just had, basically. You know, one takes out the blue, upper 20s. Obviously, you know, if you beat the 40 pound 8, I mean, that's what I'm here for, is to try and get that elusive 45 up there. Not sure anyhow in Mirror Lake, because there's Israeli mirrors stocked, so they do grow big. in Israel and stuff, so they must grow big here. And as you can see, they're quite round and fat. It was about 8-9 inches wide, and it was full, it was solid, the fish. Definitely feeding up for the winter. So yeah, that's why I picked this time of year. I think it's the 22nd. It's the 22nd, 23rd of October. So it's right at the end. We've had a warmish spell, so that's why I thought I'd jump on it now and try and give it a little bit of a 2 or 3 days or whatever the weather takes me on how the bites come. But the bites are definitely about half hour before dark. Well, the bites, I'll say the bites, not bites, because I've only had one, but the fish start showing in the evening. It gets dark about 20 past 6 it gets dark now. So they're starting to jump just before dark and into dark, and you hear a couple jump into dark and stuff. But I see about 5 or so in the area. It's a big lake. It's 11,000 acres, so you don't know what's happening elsewhere. But and then at first light, just as it's getting light, 1 jump, 2 a jump, then I see 2 jump at once, and I think it was about 7 or 8 jumped that I could see. I heard about 3 or 4, but I didn't know where they were. So I think the early morning is the better feeding spell, and then late evening is a shorter feeding spell. But it seems like in the night it's dead, like it was in August when I come. It was just dead through the night. I just ain't had a bite in the dark, which is good because it puts you in your sleeping bag and puts some Zeds on you. If I can catch them in the day, it's the best way forward. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I've had that one on IB mainline. I had some pots sent over from England, and yeah, and on the D rig, as I said, short hook trace, about probably 7-inch, with 35 pound hook length material. I use Berkeley over here in Canada. Yeah, so I'm going to sign off, and hopefully sometime today or early evening I can come back with another punching fish. Let's give it a go.
There we go, take number 2. Take just rattled off on the new spot on the plateau. Fishing about 170 yards out. Just rattled off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Take straight out of the blue. Over about 2 handfuls of boilies. And IB D-rig 4-ounce lead sitting on the plateau. This little girl goes rattling off. Nice. I'm happy with that. Any fish out of Mirror Lake is a good fish. One of the joys on the bank is not only catching the fish and seeing the scenery and the sunsets, it's get a bit of scran in ya. Woohoo! Kicking on the bank. Can't beat it. Wow. Yeah, this is the first full day. I've done half a day yesterday, done last night. Today at about 10 past 2, I had to take out the blue, 21 pound as you see on the vid. But that's it, I ain't seen nothing jump all day, which yesterday I didn't see anything jump in the afternoon anyway, until it's just started to get dark. And then just in the dark they had a little crash around, but nothing happened. But all the rods are out, and it's baited up heavier, tighter, in a tighter spot. They're not feeding that well really. The 21 didn't run that far, went out on the boat, didn't really, I mean it fighted, as you know, but it didn't go crazy like it does in the warmer months. The warmer months are absolutely one tone you're off, and you walk into it and you don't know if it's 21 or 41, you know, I mean they really do yank you. But this time of year, yeah, the bites are a lot slower. They're head and shouldering and just rolling very gingerly. They're not crashing right out. So you have to really stare out and see them. You know, if you're going to see them, you've got to really look at them and clock them as they come up. Today's been unreal. 20 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be 20 degrees. And
It's the 23rd, 24th of October. I mean, this is crazy weather, but that's why I come out. It had a little bit of a warm spell. I think it's going to about Wednesday. I think Monday is some rain coming Monday. So these little ladybugs, there's thousands of them been landing on me all day long, and they bite. But yeah, it's been a beautiful day. Say only one take, one fish. 2 takes, 2 fish in a sort of a day and a half. So 100% catch rate, that's all you got to do. If you land everything, then obviously there's a chance of another big fish coming through, you know. But you've got to go out on the boat, chase them to 150, 170 and pull them up the bottom. Every time you get there, they're sort of pinging on rocks and stuff, and it is snaggy out there. Playing them from the bank is sort of 50-50 whether you bank them. A boat gives you like 90%, 95% landing. So a boat is crucial for here. That's 100%, well 100% in my eyes, it's 100%. You've got to get on that boat. So yeah, baited up with some mainline and a little bit of maize with 5 mixed beans, but the mixed beans have been soaked in the pineapple syrup mix of mainline, so it's been in the bucket all syruping up and soaking in, so each little bit of corn and bean actually smells like a boilie. So that's the idea, is to put them, spread them out, put a tighter group now. I baited a little bit wider, thinking like to drag them in the swim. It worked. I had a couple of takes, but I've dropped it in like sort of an umbrella baited from the boat, and dropped it right in the umbrella sort of circle of bait. So yeah, just try and concentrate them so they come in and they just feed in that circle and not sort of scan round and take ages to eat. So I don't think they're really gorging. They're only jumping like an hour before dark and an hour after dark, very gingerly, and just as it gets light, and then you got about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours in the morning, 2 hours into light. You get like 7 or 8 bopping around in this area. We did this morning, but there was no. Well, I had a run I had the 40, but that was late morning. It's sort of like 10 o'clock ish. That was sort of end of when they were jumping, but. You know, it is what it is, and hopefully tomorrow they might get on the concentrated and see if we can nick a couple of fish, either one tonight, one tomorrow, or a couple in the morning. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned on here. Subscribe down here. Click the bell. Ding, 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 ding. So you get the old video sent straight into your inbox. Or go into Instagram or CanadianCarpin.com website. Twitter, TikTok, we're all over the place. Canadian Carpin, as you can see. Get on it, get some of this sun. See you later.
Well, here we go, 8 o'clock at night. First time I had one in the night, in dark hours anyway. Look at that, 24.5 pound, beautiful, out on the plateau rod, same as the other 21 pounder. Look at that, she's absolutely mint.